All right.
Oh. Score will begin. Alright, we will start with the mock court trial. NBA versus Sterling is now in session. First, we will take the opening address from the plaintiff barrister. Prosecutor.
Okay. Do I speak to the judges?
Margaret Jones. We would appreciate if you would take the pledge. No,
that's not yet.
That's not yet.
That's whenever they call.
Sorry. Yeah. Call someone to stand. We're doing this. We're good.
Okay.
Yes, please state your name to the jury.
Margaret Jones.
For the convenience of the sports.
On April 26, 2014, a tape was released to the public. This recording, stated belonging to V. Studiano, had Donald Sterling, the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, made some discriminatory statements towards African Americans. After coming home, Sterling reprimanded his girlfriend, Studiano, who had the tape, for posting pictures of herself with African Americans on her Instagram. Sterling stated, quote, "It bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people. Do you have to? You can sleep with black people, you can bring them in, you can do whatever you want. The little I ask you is that you not promote it on that." He also asked that she not bring black people to Clippers games, declaring that African Americans do not support their communities.
Thank you.
You may now be seated. Okay.
Alright, now we will be taking the defendants.
Please state your name for the convenience of the scoring table.
Calder LaChance, and I will be defending Donald Sterling. The NBA versus Donald Sterling case is one of a quarrel between two lovers, and the extreme aftermath that continued to follow the argument. With rash judgment, Donald Sterling said things that would not be approved of inside of his job. But Donald Sterling did not say these things inside of his office or to any of his coworkers. But instead, while he was jealous and worried about his pride, due to the fact that his ex-lover was talking to younger, more virile men who were a rival to his attention. The words that Mr. Sterling said had nothing to do with racism, but much more with the fact that he was threatened and ill-tempered and acted as we all do, human. The tape recorded by Mr. Sterling's lover also has no relevance to the court or to the case. The tape had nothing to do with the allowance of rental to minorities with the Lesser Towers, the apartment building owned by Donald Sterling. The tape only shows the personal and embarrassing difficulties in Mr. Sterling's life. According to the accusations, the things we say off the clock affect our professional careers. While many believe that Donald Sterling is a racist, though, his professional and personal life point to the contrary. In Mr. Sterling's time owning the NBA team, the Clippers, he has hired more African American coaches than any other NBA team. Mr. Sterling has also given abundantly to the NAACP and other minority charities and donated tickets to inner city residents. Before this trial came out, Mr. Sterling was scheduled to win his second Lifetime Achievement Award from the NAACP. Finally, he had an African American director of his team for 22 years during their worst years. These facts support that Donald Sterling would not prohibit someone's shelter or intimidate them with force, power, or money because of their race or religion, as he is accused of doing by breaking the Housing Act of 1949. Thank you.
You may be seated. We will now take the testimony of the first plaintiff witness, or the first prosecution.
Okay, wait, we have a serious question. Do we have to wait to call, for them to call someone up, or can we call up any one of, like, can we call up Donald Sterling, or do we have to wait for them to call?
Okay, I'd like to call Donald Sterling to stand, please.
Yes. Oh, another thing, just, you don't, it doesn't have to be a witness, you can come up and just say your piece too. It can be a witness or either one.
Okay, hold up your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence that you give to the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Alright, so entering into the NBA, being a owner of the LA Clippers, did you or did you not sign a contract stating that you would be responsible for any actions that you have done on or off the court?
I did.
Was that or was that not your voice on the recording that Staviano recorded?
That was my voice.
Have you or have you not been previously charged for stating racial statements towards African Americans?
I have not.
Do you or do you not currently owe a fine towards the NBA?
I do.
Thank you.
Will that be all?
Emma.
You may now be seated. Sterling, you may also not be seated.
Unless there is a process examination by the first defense barrister.
Does the fine you have for the NBA have anything to do with the racial statements you have made?
Yes.
Were these racial statements inside your job?
No, sir.
Have you ever, inside of your job, discriminated or not let any other race into your basketball games
No, sir.
or interfered with them?
No.
If there is a re-examination by the first prosecution, if you are now able to come up, it is optional, however. We will now have the examination in chief by the second second prosecution plaintiff. Prosecution, sorry.
Wait. May I call Ms. Staviano to stand, please?
You may.
You gotta raise your hand.
What's her name?
Do you solemnly swear that the evidence that you give to the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Staviano, may you please spell your name for the convenience of the court?
Staviano.
Is that your real name? Thank you.
For the case score, what is your first name?
Mrs.
Say your name, right?
Yeah. So, what went on the night of May? Oh, was it? What went on the night of April 26th, 2014?
Mr. Sterling came home and was saying racial things about how I had taken pictures with African American people. I then proceeded to record him, knowing that he was the owner of the LA Clippers.
Was this in any way to get so-called revenge on Mr. Sterling?
No, it was not.
Okay, thank you.
Will that be all?
Yes, sir.
You are dismissed.
Thank you.
Now will be the cross-examination by the second defense attorney.
What was the night that you recorded Mr. Sterling saying racial comments?
April 24th.
Okay, it was April 26th.
April 26th.
Did he give you his exact permission to record this?
He did not.
That makes this illegal. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Did not? When he said these things, did he seem jealous or worried that you were hanging with younger men?
He did.
Do you think that may have to do with the racial comments more than the fact that he has something against racial men?
I did not. I just thought that he was making racial comments against all African Americans.
Do you think this recording has anything pertaining to him breaking the Housing Act of 1949 because he would not rent to Koreans or African American men?
Yes.
You do? Thank you, that'll be all.
Fabiano, you may now be seated.
Unless there is a re-examination by the second prosecution.
Have you ever heard Donald Sterling refer to African Americans as making him jealous or feel like you want them instead of him?
No.
Shaw?
Thank you. You may be seated. You may also be seated. Thank you.
Depending on like the course, yes, you can, as long as there's not a dissenter in the judges, then we should be fine to overrule your opinion. But also, do you want us to state that the recording will not be able to be used as valid evidence?
That's, depends on, they're gonna have to then debate that, that's their call, motion that. They make a motion, not you. You asking me or them?
Them.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw.
I make a motion to see the recording of the tape that they say they have as evidence against Donald Sterling.
Motion approved.
Maybe start out with a note recording that also proves his racial terms.
Mr. Lachance.
I make a motion to object. We were only provided with one recording, and that was of him and Vanessa Stiviano.
Then there will be only one recording being used.
Did we get to say something back?
Yes, yes, Ms. McCleary.
Alright, I mean, I'll just check.
Yes.
There will now be a brief break where you may talk amongst yourselves about the case while they get their the recording.
Wait, Mr. Shaw, you're not showing us Mr. Cubic. You can pause.
Examination in chief by the first defense attorney. You may call whomever you would like,
Oh,
if you choose to.
we would like to call off Miss Vanessa Stiviano. Again.
Objection to right.
Yes,
What happened to the recording? Why aren't we showing the recording now?
that is true. Objection carried.
Thank you.
Objection.
Oh, it'd be there.
Yes,
Since this recording is legal evidence, why is it being used?
would you like to make an objection? Or,
Oh,
would you like to make a motion?
Exactly, I'm using it.
Objection.
Yes.
We have had the opposing attorney call for this evidence, so we are just turning those over and we're ready to accept.
You are justified to, you are justified to play before the court.
motion to question the validity of the recording.
Your motion is carried.
Where did you, get the evidence? What source is it from?
YouTube.
I would like to say that this evidence is not, hold on, think of the word, credible, as it is taken from a site where you can put whatever you want onto video.
Objection. Counter objection?
Yes.
Time out,
I ask-
time out.
We have to ask you.
Is this allowed? Because in a real case, they would have legit evidence from the actual woman. They just don't
Yeah,
have the
but
evidence.
I don't have an actual woman
Yeah.
giving me
And
shit.
not only that, but Calder, where did you get most of your information? Is it credible?
Oh.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa,
Can I
whoa,
just-
whoa, whoa, objection, she can't say that.
Not like the dead.
Can I counter object?
Calm.
I just don't.
This does create an interesting thing, because, I mean, say what you're gonna say.
Counter objection, I already asked Donald Sterling if this was his voice on this recording, and he said yes.
Objection. He said he made a recording with
He did
his
not.
voice on it.
He did not.
You asked him if his voice was on a recording. You never specified
I said
which
this
recording it
recording.
was.
I said this recording, I said is
This
voice-
recording without
What?
showing him
Wait.
what the recording was.
Mr. LaChance and Miss Austin.
He approved, that's all I'm saying.
Here,
That's my
this is how you
objection.
solve the problem. You ask the stenographers, we have a camera.
2 cameras.
Oh, 2 cameras. Do you remember taking anything on that note of what he said? When he was on the witness stand, did you take note of whether he said this recording or a
I can
recording?
go back and
Pretty sure.
look at it.
Maybe.
Well, let's find out.
Okay, can I pause this?
We have in order to state that this is evidence being presented, but its validity is being questioned, so you have to take that into consideration when you're making your final decision, jury.
Jury, understand that?
You may.
Finish my objection? Can I finish my objection?
You may.
Okay, so he did state that this was his voice on the recording. As I did say the recording, we were talking about the recording that his girlfriend did take.
Miss Austin, did you speak to him prior about the recording that you were presenting?
No, I talked to his attorney.
Clarification for the jury. What about Oh, it's for me. Okay.
Hey, here, let me see. Pause it real quick.
Can I bring up a witness while you do that?
I'm just gonna plug it into play real quick. How much longer do we have?
A couple of
Like 4 minutes.
How long is that video?
We have like
Yeah.
3 minutes of class, 3 minutes and a couple seconds.
Can we just call it?
Yeah,
today
we need to.
before we get
Do you
into
think we get through the video?
No.
Yeah.
The
Well,
last
how
two?
how many more minutes is there? 2 or less? 3 or less?
So let's finish the video, and then after the video, we'll go live.
recording says pretty much the same thing over and
The rest of the
The memory card.
If it was Larry Bird, would it have made a difference?
I got it.
You're just a big fighter. I could see who would want to live with a woman like you. Who would want to live with a woman? All you ever wanted to do was fight. You're a born fighter.
I'm sorry that you're mad.
You have the worst mouth.
Why are you so angry? Honey, what's wrong?
Well, why did you bring up Larry Bird? What has he got to do with it? You can walk all night long with your sisters or your family.
I saw someone I admire Magic Johnson.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's made a lot of changes for his community, for the world, for the people, for the minorities. He's helped a lot of people.
Why are you forcing this down my throat?
Trial court, NBA versus Sterling is now resumed.
Okay, in counter argument to the evidence, I would like to bring up, witness, Vanessa Stiviano. I will get you a chair real quick.
I can sit on the floor.
the evidence that you give to the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Was that your voice on the recording?
Yes, it was.
Can you tell us what exactly, in your opinion, was the demeanor of your relationship with Mr. Donald Sterling?
It was a mutual relationship, but when he come home, I noticed that he was angry, and then I decided maybe this shouldn't go on anymore.
When did you decide to video or to record this conversation?
I realized that he was saying racial things, and I knew that that would not be good as being the coach of the head Clippers. So I decided about when I started hearing the racial comments.
What was it recorded with?
My phone.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. Do you fully understand why Mr. Sterling is being called?
Because he said racial things against people, and being written on the LA Clippers Constitution, it says that you're representing it, and that you shouldn't be saying racial things.
Okay. Were you trying to make Mr. Sterling jealous when you posted the photo on Instagram?
No.
Can you tell us exactly how you felt when Mr. Sterling said the racial comments?
I felt a little offended at first, because I knew that he was the coach, and that you really shouldn't be saying things like that.
Do you think that might have been a motive as to why you would send this in as evidence in a trial?
Well, yes, because he shouldn't really be saying things like that.
So do you agree your judgment was clouded by anger and frustration with Mr. Sterling?
I wasn't angry at him. I was just confused as if why would you say that when you're the coach of the team?
Now, did Mr. Sterling ever once in that trial say that he specifically did not like African Americans?
No, but he did say that he didn't want them, and he didn't want me to take photos with them, and that's very rude.
Now, did he say that you were not allowed to bring African American to games or other men?
African Americans.
All right, that'll be all for you right now.
Unless there is a cross-examination by the first prosecution. Mr. LaChance, you may be seated. Thank you.
Was this the first time that he has ever made any racial terms?
No, he said them many times before.
Why did you decide to record him this time? Is it because of the hatred for him?
No, I just thought that enough was enough. He needed to be recorded, and someone needed to know.
Is this in any way to get any kind of revenge on Mr. Sterling?
No, not at all.
That's all.
You may be seated, Ms. Oster.
Thank you.
Will there be a re-examination by the first defense? Mr. LaChance?
What evidence do you have against Mr. Sterling that he said racial slurs before?
I've heard him say it before, and I've also heard of other people with different cases of him saying racial slurs.
What position does Donald Sterling
Objection.
take?
What is your objection, Ms. Oster?
I have the court records for another time that, or I make a motion. Yep. I make a motion to insert evidence from a previous case to support Mr. Saviano's statement.
Motion overruled. You may continue, Mr. LaChance.
What position does Donald Sterling have in the Los Angeles Clippers?
He's the owner of them.
Okay, because previously you said he was the coach. Many times.
Okay, well, I meant the owner.
Thank you.
Mr. LaChance, you may be seated. Mrs. Sirianni, you may have the seat. We will now have the defense present their next piece of evidence or witness.
Oh. Okay.
Mr. LaChance, will you come forward and be calling anyone up to the stand?
According to the Civil Rights Act of 1968, you either have to by force or threat by force injure, intimidate, or interfere with anybody of another race. Mr. Donald Sterling never interfered with them,
going to his games. He never assaulted them and injured them physically, and he has never intimidated them to not go to his game. Even though he said, "I do not want African Americans going to his game," many know that he would not even hurt them, and that it is that it would be unjust for him to say those things.
Objection.
Yes.
He did say that Saviano shouldn't bring them to these games.
I just mentioned that.
Objection overruled, it was mentioned. This is for that one. Okay. The cross-examination by the second prosecution is able to come up now. It is required of the cross-examination.
There's no examination.
Yes.
Cross-examination. The rebuttals.
So would it help if I added more to what John Lake said? Would it help if I added more to what John Lake said or no?
Can we, can,
We have a little thing.
we make a motion
Show.
to insert more information about Donald Sterling being racist?
So this can go into your cross-examination. So, yes,
Right now.
come to the stand.
The internet.
For racial terms from Dr. Sterling, which you were emailed, we have documentation stating that he does owe fines. We have documentation, and we have a video of Sterling, calling out, Michael, I don't say, Jordan? Who?
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson, for calling him out, and.
I make a motion to question the relevance of this tape to the evidence, or to the examination of our evidence that we just put in. Our evidence had nothing to do with him being biased. It had to do with the Housing Act of 1949, which does not have to do with him and Magic Johnson and him calling African Americans out.
Objection overruled. She is providing new evidence irrelevant to the housing act.
Objection?
Yes.
She said that this would be previous things